Yes, on behalf of City Place Residents Association and its board of directors, I'd like to welcome our residents to home, City Place, Toronto. And our guest today is Dr. Frankie Lee, who's also a neighbor of mine and becoming a friend of ours. Frankie, how long have you lived in City Place?
I lived in City Place for approximately 5 years already. So starting from around 2014-ish. So it's been 5 years and I like it here. Yeah, it's a nice area and people are nice around, communities.
And Toronto's your hometown?
Currently, yes, but I came from Hong Kong and I came here after I finished my high school. So I did my undergraduate at the University of Toronto. And I've been staying here for since then. And but I usually go back and visit my parents back in Hong Kong every year. Try to once every year.
So this company that you are the founder and CEO of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math for Kids. And the kids we're talking about range from the age of 4 all the way to early adolescent predicament.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us more about it.
Yes, so I've, as you just mentioned, I did my PhD in science, and that topic was mostly in neurodevelopment, so how the brain works, how the brain develops, specifically associated with learning and memory, and also in some mental health diseases such as schizophrenia and depression. So I become interested in how neurodevelopment at an early age can very strongly affect the learning and memory. And so when I did more research on it, it shows that actually between the age of 4 to 14, even around that age, the early brain shows a very high capacity in terms of responding to the environment, to the experience. And another thing is that during this age, the capacity of learning is very high with a least amount of effort as well, right? Imagine like me even trying to learn a new language, the effort it takes is actually pretty hard, pretty tough. So for me is that I want to use this knowledge and this scientific evidence to help children around at this age to really develop their knowledge or their experience, their ability, and even develop their interest in the whole STEM field.
Well, let's talk about that. What gap are you filling? What is it about the ordinary, shall we call it ordinary school curriculum, that's missing some of this emphasis?
No, that's a great point. Because in the basic curriculum, it's a lot about academic focus. Maybe like memorizing math tables, multiplication tables, learning a language. But the real question is, how does these basic ideas, these core basic knowledge translates to the real world? So what we provide here is maybe we teach them some simple normal daily life such as like energy or motion, force.
Well, I love this title. Let's just go with this one. I just love mechanical engineering adventure with the laws of motion.
Yes.
They experience the epic battle between inertia and motion. Epic battle. I automatically want to sign up for this. This is just, how wonderful.
Exactly. Like people maybe during a certain age, we especially young, where we do stuff like pulling something or pushing something, they would ask how come it moves. But of course at an early age, they might not know the real details about it's actually the force that we push. But our programs provide a very basic introductory knowledge to these, and at the same time we let them have a lot of hands-on experience to these, like designing maybe like a car or whatever that they would be able to push at different force that it goes at different speed. That's part of the robotics course that they're allowed to.
That's motion too.
Motion, exactly. Yeah, where actually this one is really interesting, where they get to build some robotic animals or like robotic cars from a Lego set that we have, and then afterwards these Lego sets would be connected to a Bluetooth laptop, and then they would be able to kind of very simple programming, like how much force they add, do they turn around, like do they, or go front or back, or even add like friction. So it's a lot of hands-on activities, and the most important thing is it relates them to what they see in daily life.
Yeah, and you've just answered the question that I was going to ask. You say making science, technology, engineering, and math real and fun.
Yes.
And that's the real part. So it's applied. So they see how it's a part of their everyday, you know, and how they can apply it, and how they can. I love this because this reminds me of my own childhood. I had a younger brother, and I would make a game. I'd invent a game.
Yeah.
Then he'd play with it forever, and I would let him play with it and go invent another game. So if you're be served, it's great to make your own game.
And just to add on that is that when you make something through the process, it's not just, for example, you give them a game and then they just find, for example, that a certain character in the game has to achieve a certain result. But when you, in the process of designing, they think about the different factors that affect how, you know, the starting point to the result. So let's say take maybe a game making, for example. They would need to think about how this character achieved points, how this character may lose health points or whatever that they thought about. And from that, it also leads to their creativity and their critical thinking, and not just, how to achieve the results.
Right. So for example, I'd be very tempted if I were working in your curriculum, because I really like what you're doing, and if I were teaching the epic battle between inertia and motion, there's so many things, because I have an athletics background, but is it also not an opportunity to teach a little history in the form of maybe, I don't know how much 4-year-olds would be interested, but certainly 14-year-olds should be interested in Sir Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein and so forth. You know, I mean, does that ever seep into it, or?
No, that's a great point, because we also not only have these hands-on activities, but in the beginning of a few lectures, let's say inertia, motion, we do have introduced some of their Newton's laws of motion. You know, the 3 basic laws, how Newton, and we also have some games around it. Let's say, for example, they can have a basket inertia. For example, they have a basket or hold something on top of their head, but we let them run. But when they immediately stop, we tell them, what happens to the object on top? Does it continue to go? Yeah. So we do have these little games that we introduced the basic concept. So the core ideas is also there as well from our programs.
What exactly is 4-dimensional? I'm wondering what's your take on 4-dimensional?
So our definition from at least what our company have decided is, first of all, it's the core ideas, where I mentioned. So it's the basic knowledge, the basic concept of, let's take motion back again, so the law of motion. And then from there, teaching about the core ideas, we continue to go to career connection and practices, which is what to do with this knowledge. When we learn about force, this is how we make things move. We solve problems like, for example, with cars, how they move with a force. And then we continue with this with cross-cutting concepts, which is how it relates. So we allow the children to we taught them about force, we taught them about how this can lead cars to move. And then with cross-cutting concepts, we actually ask them to design. So we call it, in our curriculum, we call it an engineering design process, that we ask them to design based on this idea of how, do you need like a motor, for example, to force it?
How early would you be starting this? This sounds advanced to me.
It can be advanced, but our programs...
These are the rudimentary dimensions, and you build on that.
Exactly. Okay. And even in some younger, for example, let's say we teach a certain age of like early 4 to 7-ish, we do have this, but we already maybe set up like a motor for them, and then we just ask them maybe to connect this motor to like some simple wheels, like an axle for them to, so when you have like a power here. So we do have simple
Frankie, it seems to me this. I mean, my children are grown, but this should be a program for parents.
Like, I didn't expect, like you say, it might be too advanced, but for children who are really curious in this part, they may not completely understand the basic, like the knowledge, the underlying information, but at least we get them a sense of this force pushes the car, and if we link them with that wheel,
You got them thinking,
yeah,
and connecting things that are happening in front of them, and they can look, and now they have a lens to actually see the reality of what they're looking at.
Exactly.
Now, is everyone not comfortable with the technology these days? I know I'm not, but
I mean, yeah, like
I grew up with typewriters.
like you said, to be honest, right now it's everything starts with like computer. Even in science, even in every field, you need like the computer to help you. So it's definitely a good idea for them to start early and understand some concepts. I mean, during their growth, they might not be interested in certain topics, but I believe that in a majority of not just STEM fields, but even in other careers, that they have to use certain parts of computer.
But it's the way you frame it. If you take anything that's a mess in nature, and if you frame it right, it has an aesthetic
some
quality.
beauty and
So we were talking about the technology is it's a juggernaut. I mean, it's not like you can opt out of it, right? You still have to use computers these days.
Everything requires technology right now. But as we mentioned, the main mission would be fun and real. So the fun part is what we're focusing on. It's how do they have fun in this technology. So we're not kind of just manufacturing them, but during this process, we let them, let's say for computer programming, developing a game, they can really have their own fun and they're developing a game. And I mean, in the future, if they're not really interested in that part, at least they know that it's not for them, and then they can go somewhere else. And the good thing about, I think what we stand out is we have a very broad array of programs. So it's not just a simple computer programming, coding program. It also includes, like we talked about, right, various aspects of engineering, not just mechanical, even like simple aerospace, simple electrical engineering, even the science field, biomedical, life sciences. So I think it's not, I wouldn't use manufacturing them, but at least letting them choose to see what they're interested in, and instead of forcing them, you have to learn, this technology. It's the bottom line, I think, is just let them choose, let them see what they're interested in.
Another thing that you teach, entrepreneurship.
Yes, yeah. Sorry, I was gonna say, actually one of those courses, the entrepreneurial would be like, they would have a chance to actually try to look at their product. After designing their product, they would need to learn about what the market needs. So it's a very simple entrepreneurship, and it really gives them, I think, a good sense.
This is so refreshing, Frankie. But on that topic, this entrepreneurship applied to your own business. You created this. You're the founder. You brought this franchise to this area where there wasn't one, and now, you've been up and running for a few years, and now we're all faced with a bit of a shock, especially the schools. This one here has been closed down temporarily. How has this narrowed your options or delayed your plans, or how is this affecting you?
Yeah, so before the pandemic, we have been hosting classes in some nearby community centers, such as like the Waterfront Neighborhood Community Center. And also we have collaboration with a few schools that we bring these programs into them for like after school, maybe like an hour and a half for them to learn these topics. But unfortunately, like you say, with the pandemic, everything is closed, and I mean, I understand, definitely it affected our probably almost all business. We also tried to develop maybe some of the online resources, but it's not the same, especially with these mostly hands-on activities. So yeah, I mean, business is definitely affected, but I'm positive towards like I'm really optimistic in the future that once we reopen, that you know, like when people are more comfortable getting out there, that we can again bring this education to children around the City Place neighborhood.
I want to say this to the community, because I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way I'm feeling. I don't know. I was just honestly, Frankie, I was thinking about this interview today, yesterday, and I was looking at my PVR, and I was looking at what I had recorded, and I couldn't stop thinking about you, because I've never seen it before. Jack Black, is that an actor?
Yeah, kind of.
School of Rock.
No, I didn't.
And I cried. I was actually emotional about a comedy. I never watched comedies, and I was thinking about you, because at the end, you saw how they made it into a business, minus the girlfriend, and I was moved by it, and I was thinking about you, and I'm hoping that we can help you. And is there some way in which the community, the City Place Residents Association can help you out? What can we do?
Oh, I think
Get the word out there.
Get the word out there, and I really appreciate this opportunity that we have. What's most important is let children decide, because with interest it comes with stronger motivation to go towards that goal. And it's always nice to see children smile, that they are having fun with what they're learning, instead of just always forcing them to push to sit in front of like a desk. For us as an enrichment program, we hope to bring this fun and still educational stuff to the residents. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.